Dialect kind of not feeling okay. I don't know. My allergy has been really bad today, but um, dialect um, yeah. So we've been working on simple tenses, and I wanted to go over because I know we've kind of gone over stuff, and I try to read the book, so I'm following along, but um, sometimes it's just more confusing the way they're trying to explain it. And what I noticed from books is that when we're reading it, you're reading more like it's more linguistic way of learning. It's less, authentic way of speaking on how our people actually speak. So what I find that it becomes more or too structured when I'm reading those books, which is fine because there needs to be structure to language, right? But it takes away from natural way of speaking. So that's what I'm getting to. There's nothing wrong with a lot of stuff, but it does take it away. That's what I noticed because they tried to stick with the same patterns, and not all the time is that going to work. So I found that out because um, I work for a healing society, and it's all language. Everything's language revitalization. And what I'm noticing is that every time a camp happens, we have to switch our brains over to a different dialect. So, for instance, on dialect, we have Kwakwala, which is the language I've been exposed to. Um, and then the people from like Kingcome, Guildford, different places. My granny calls it Kwakwala. My granny's from those villages, but um, the the word is Bakum Kala. That's the dialect they speak. So we are Bakum, so we're speaking our traditional languages. Um, and then the other thing was the people from Campbell River speak Likwala. Likwala. The people from Port Hardy, which is Nakwachtok, people speak Nakwala. The people from Quetzino area, we call it Gutala. They call it Gutsa, I believe. I might be pronouncing that wrong. And then the people from the Asikwala people, they speak Asikwala. Okay, so you get the picture. What I find is that when people are coming to our camps, we have to switch our brains over. So you can have a full lesson all prepared, and you can have, I'll just give you a couple examples. So we had a lesson prepared. One of our girls had a lesson prepared, and it was all headward. So she wanted to teach the kids how to draw and speak the language and name the body parts, head, eyebrows, forehead, nose, ears, mouth. And so she said humps, because that's what we were raised with, right? Like, so it's like humps, ooks, it, right? And the word for humps, which is your head, they say humpmis. Humpmis, I believe that's how you pronounce it. So there's just some little changes in pronunciation or how we say the word, and that's how they say the word, and they'll never be wrong. So that's one thing, is that if you're learning from somebody that says things wrong, they're not wrong. If you're learning from somebody and then you go learn from another person and they say it different, they'll never be wrong. Neither of them will ever be wrong. That's what they've learned. That's what they know. And you need to respect that. So that's one thing that I found. Another thing was I was teaching a lesson, and I had a bunch of Nakwala, women that was there. And she or they, the woman, were sitting there, and so I'm teaching this full lesson, and I'm using the total physical response method, and there's some words that change. So, for instance, if I said to you, I could hold an object and say matz'atgada, matz'atgada, and they just went like this to me. So I just went like that because I don't want to do too much English. So I said, okay, how would you ask me what this is? So they grabbed the object from me, matz'asuchta, matz'asuchta. I said, even if it's in your hand, you say matz'asuchta, and they said yes. Okay, so there's just a little bit of a difference in how we ask the question. And then, so I'm holding a piece of paper, which we call it guaguat. And she said, I said, matz'asuchta. And she said, kwagayu. Okay, so there is a bit of a difference, and it does make them wrong because that's what they know. Okay, another example would be, because I could say, gilch ida lachwa hamchtet mil, lach benetja sa hamchtet mil. But they can put it into one word where it means the same thing. So I'm saying crawl underneath the table, okay? And they say gilaba'o, gilaba'o. So there's just certain ways that things are said, but it will never ever be wrong, okay? So I am kind of trying to get to a point here. Just respecting everybody's dialects, respecting that other people have a different way. They might have a more, like what I was saying at the beginning, a more structured way. They might have learned in school. They might have learned from a real old elder that speaks the old language to structured and patterned. It doesn't make anybody wrong. The thing that will be wrong and scary that I find is pronunciation. So when we're pronouncing words, we really need to study the accent. Really, really study accent when you're learning language. What I find by getting a thicker accent is by studying the elder or an elder's way that they're speaking. Okay, so it's just like saying a long time ago. Okay, it makes it sound like a long time ago. Or waladi hamchtemil. Waladi albus. Right? So you're just really overly emphasizing, and that's where your accent sits, okay? So anyway, I hope I'm making sense. Kind of just rambling right now. I'm kind of not feeling well. I don't know if I got allergies or I'm sick. So yeah. So come back for more. This is a very random video. I've been thinking about language and even with an elder, when the elder is speaking, they'll say, oh no, that person's wrong. Oh, this, so the thing is, the elder will never be wrong. If they're teaching you, they'll teach you their knowledge that they know. Okay, so qila kasta ukhla halakasta ukhla nukunklus.